Let's dive deep into the financial mind of Patrick Bet-David. You probably know him. He's the entrepreneurial force behind Valuetainment.
Yeah, Valuetainment.
And we've got a whole bunch of his videos ready to break down all about his journey to wealth and the advice he gives to others. You know, it's interesting because even though Bet-David built his own fortune pretty quickly, he doesn't necessarily say everyone else should follow that same path.
Right.
In fact, he lays out 3 different paths to $1 million.
He does, yeah. It's kind of like choose your own adventure to wealth.
It is.
He calls them the fast track, the average track, and get this, the slow track to $1 million.
The slow track, that's not exactly what you'd expect from a guy who, you know, kind of embodies that hustle mentality.
Yeah, you think he'd be all about that fast track.
Exactly. But it really shows you how he considers different personalities and risk tolerances. So the slow path is all about consistent low-risk investing, but over a really long period, like decades even.
Yeah, he even uses an example of investing $300 a month and getting a 12% return. After 30 years, you'd have over $1 million. You know, it just illustrates that power of consistency, even with kind of modest amounts.
Right. And that's a good takeaway for anybody, even if their goal isn't necessarily $1 million. It's that idea of thinking long-term and making your money work for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But now, let's say you are someone who really thrives on risk and you want to take that fast track to wealth. Bet-David has 10 rules specifically for these aspiring fast track millionaires.
He does, yeah.
Oh, I'm all ears. What are some of the highlights?
Well, one that stands out is saying yes to everything early on. Not blindly, of course, but, you know, it's about building relationships and being open to opportunities that might seem random at first.
Right. It's like that saying, your network is your net worth, kind of taken to the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Bet-David also stresses specializing before generalizing.
Okay.
Becoming the go-to expert in a niche before you branch out.
I can see how that builds credibility and kind of a strong foundation. You're not trying to be everything to everyone right away.
Precisely. And then there's leverage, which Bet-David is all about.
He mentions leverage a lot.
Yeah.
But he seemed to mean it in a way beyond just finances.
Right. It's kind of a philosophy for him.
Yeah.
He talks about leveraging people, technology, systems, anything that can kind of multiply your efforts and your impact.
So it's about working smarter, not just harder, finding those force multipliers that help you achieve more with the same amount of effort.
Right. Finding the efficiencies. Another rule that he emphasizes is protecting your credit score.
Right.
And it's not just about getting loans.
Yeah.
It's about building that financial trustworthiness.
Like your reputation preceding you in the financial world.
Exactly. And one that I think is often overlooked, meticulously tracking your savings and expenses.
Okay.
Bet-David even has the story about making his own, lemonade to save a few bucks each day.
It sounds a little extreme, but it highlights the importance of being mindful, even with small amounts.
It does, yeah. It's about understanding where your money's going and making conscious choices about your spending.
Absolutely. And speaking of choices, Bet-David has a very strong opinion about diversification. He actually calls it for absolute sissies.
He does, yeah. Strong words.
Yeah. But isn't diversification kind of considered a core principle of investing?
It is. But he's specifically addressing people who are in that wealth creation phase with a higher risk tolerance and a longer time horizon. He believes too much diversification can actually limit your returns, especially early on.
So it's more about being bold when you're younger and can afford to take bigger swings.
Exactly. But it's not just about being reckless either.
Right.
He stresses the importance of viewing stock ownership as business ownership.
Okay.
Understanding the company that you're investing in.
It's like you're becoming a partner in the business, not just playing the stock market.
Exactly. And speaking of partners, Bet-David emphasizes choosing the right people to learn from.
Right.
Those with solid values and principles, not just financial success. He actually shares a story about some colleagues who were making millions of dollars but had really terrible habits that eventually led to trouble. It's a powerful reminder that success without the right foundation is fleeting.
So it's not just about learning how to make money, but how to keep it and build a life that's sustainable, that's fulfilling.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's shift gears a bit.
Yeah.
What about navigating economic uncertainty?
Yeah.
What does Bet-David have to say about thriving when times get tough.
He's all about what he calls the no matter what mindset. It's not about ignoring external factors, but focusing on what you can control and thriving regardless of the circumstances.
He actually sold one of his businesses during a volatile period,
He did, yeah.
which proves he kind of walks the walk.
He does, yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
But how does this no matter what mindset actually translate into action?
Well, in one of his videos, he outlines a strategy for thriving over the next few years. It involves building strategic alliances, constantly seeking growth for yourself and others, and embracing new ways of thinking through things like masterminds and workshops.
So it's about proactively preparing for potential challenges,
Right.
finding the right people to collaborate with, and constantly evolving your mindset.
Exactly. He even talks about anticipating potential challenges in your personal life, being prepared for anything that life might throw your way.
So it's really a holistic approach to resilience, recognizing that your financial well-being is tied to your overall well-being.
Precisely, yeah. And he even took a calculated risk. He purchased a property for $25.2 million in cash.
Wow, $25.2 million. That takes some serious confidence.
It does. But he saw an opportunity, he did his due diligence, and he was willing to step outside his comfort zone.
So calculated risks, not just recklessness.
Right.
It seems like he believes that those risks are often catalysts for breakthroughs.
Absolutely. And he stresses being malleable, learning from your mistakes and adapting.
Yeah.
It's about having this new way of thinking and letting go of outdated ideas.
It sounds like he embraces continuous learning and adapting to a changing world.
He does. And to stay focused, he actually makes a list every year of people that he believes are holding him back.
Wow, that's pretty intense. But I can see how it highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people.
Right. It's about creating this high performance culture and recognizing that sometimes tough decisions are necessary for growth.
So it's not about being ruthless, but about prioritizing your energy and aligning yourself with people who support your vision.
Right. He also emphasizes urgency,
Okay.
especially when it comes to planning and achieving your goals. He believes most people lack that sense of regency.
It's like that saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Don't wait for that perfect moment.
Exactly. He even mentions how many people won't attend a free business planning webinar because they think they have plenty of time. Yeah. It's a reminder that time is our most valuable asset. We need to be proactive and seize those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And he also stresses self-awareness, knowing your strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
He has this anecdote about his business partner who realized that he thrives as the number 2, not the CEO.
That's a great example of finding fulfillment by playing to your strengths.
Exactly. And finally, Bet David advocates for being ultra proactive, not waiting for things to happen, but making them happen.
Yeah.
He has this great quote. He says, "Don't wait another day or a week or whatever. I'm making a decision today." It's about being decisive and taking action.
So taking ownership, creating your own luck. But let's dive into one of his, I think, most intriguing concepts. It's the idea of doubling your money.
No.
He outlines 5 challenges that people face when they're trying to build wealth.
He does.
And he says the biggest obstacle is not finding the right investment,
Right.
but having enough money to invest in the first place.
It's not about stock picking or market timing. It's about building that solid financial foundation first.
Exactly. And he breaks down these challenges into 5 categories: income, expenses, taxes, investments. And this one's interesting, identity.
Yeah, that one is interesting.
Identity. How does that relate to finances?
Well, he argues that how you see yourself, what you believe you deserve, can actually hold you back financially.
Interesting.
He says your identity pulls your income.
So if you have a $50,000 identity, it's going to be tough to consistently earn $100,000.
Exactly. It's about raising that internal thermostat, believing that you're worthy of greater financial success.
So he's emphasizing the importance of mindset and self-belief when it comes to achieving financial goals.
Absolutely.
But let's break down these 5 challenges one by one, starting with income.
Okay.
What does Bet David have to say about maximizing your earning potential?
He's pretty straightforward. If you have a job and you're broke, find a way to generate more income. And he's a huge advocate for the power of sales.
Right.
He calls sales the highest paid, high-speed skill you can learn. And he encourages everyone to have a side hustle. Find creative ways to monetize your skills.
So it's about having that entrepreneurial spirit, maximizing your time and energy.
Right. But income is only one part of the equation. What about expenses? What's his advice there?
Yeah, what does he say about that?
He has some pretty radical advice. He says you need to fire your consultants.
Fire your consultants. What does that even mean?
He's talking about replacing those expensive consultants with platforms like Fiverr, where you can find skilled freelancers for a fraction of the cost.
Oh, so it's about leveraging technology and finding more efficient ways to get things done.
Exactly. He also talks about renegotiating all your contracts, your phone bill, your cable bill, everything. He believes that most people overpay because they're just too passive.
So it's about being assertive and taking control of your finances.
Right. And of course, he emphasizes living below your means, even with a high income. He even talks about, driving a modest car when he had millions in the bank.
Right. It's a reminder that true wealth isn't about appearances. It's about building that solid financial foundation.
Absolutely.
All right, now let's talk about taxes. What's Bet David's take on how taxes impact wealth creation?
Well, he highlights how your location can significantly affect your tax burden.
Okay.
He mentions states like Texas and Florida, which have no state income tax as being particularly attractive to entrepreneurs.
So it's about being strategic with your location, understanding how taxes fit into your overall financial plan.
Right. He also stresses having a long-term tax plan, working with a knowledgeable advisor to minimize your liability.
So being proactive, not just reacting to tax laws as they change.
Exactly. He even encourages studying the philosophies of local politicians, especially regarding taxes.
Oh, interesting.
To kind of anticipate potential changes.
Right. So it's about recognizing that those political decisions can have a major impact on your financial well-being.
Absolutely.
All right. Now let's move on to investments. What's Bet David's approach?
Well, remember how he called diversification for absolute sissies?
I do, yeah.
He elaborates on that. He says it's mainly for those who are in the wealth preservation phase.
So for those younger investors with a higher risk tolerance, he's advocating for a more concentrated approach.
Right. He believes that too much diversification can really hinder returns, especially in those early stages.
So it's about being bold and capitalizing on opportunities where you have expertise.
Exactly. He also, again, stresses that stock ownership is business ownership.
Right.
Understand the company, understand the management, the long-term prospects.
So it's about thinking like an owner, not just a stock trader.
Exactly. And he's a big believer in buy and hold, finding great companies and letting them grow over time.
The classic Warren Buffett approach. Patience and long-term thinking.
Right. He also highlights the importance of understanding your own risk tolerance and time horizon. How much risk are you comfortable with? How long are you willing to wait for your investments to grow?
Those are crucial questions. Everyone needs to answer those before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely. He even introduces two helpful rules. The rule of 72 and the rule of 105.
Oh, I love a good rule.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
All right. Well, the rule of 72 is a simple way to calculate how long it takes for your money to double at a given interest rate.
Okay.
You just divide 72 by the interest rate.
Okay.
So at 9% interest, it takes 8 years for your money to double.
That's a handy trick.
Yeah.
And what about the rule of 105?
Same concept, but for tripling your money.
Oh.
So these rules help you visualize the power of compounding.
Yeah, they make those abstract concepts a little more tangible.
Exactly.
Now we come to the most intriguing challenge, identity. How does Bet David tie identity to finances?
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
He argues that your identity, how you see yourself, and what you believe you deserve can actually limit your financial potential.
So it's like a self-imposed ceiling on your earning power.
Precisely. He says, again, your identity pulls your income. If you have a $50,000 identity, it's going to be tough to consistently earn $100,000.
So it sounds like we almost subconsciously sabotage ourselves if we don't believe we're worthy of more.
Right. He challenges us to raise our internal thermostat and step into a new identity that's aligned with our financial goals.
It's about recognizing and breaking free from those self-imposed limitations.
Absolutely. He even has a video dedicated to this concept.
Oh, wow.
It's called How to Recreate Yourself. So to recap, Bet David's 5 challenges to doubling your money are income, expenses, taxes, investments, and identity.
Right, and he's providing really practical strategies for each of these, emphasizing mindset, self-awareness, and taking consistent action.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a very holistic approach to wealth creation, focusing on the numbers, the beliefs, the habits, the people you surround yourself with.
Right, and he also stresses the importance of mentors and role models, but, he adds, study smart investors, but don't be too religious about them.
So learn from others, but find your own path. Develop your unique approach.
Right.
And he emphasizes finding those strategic partners who can support your vision
Yes.
and help you achieve your goals.
Absolutely.
It's about building that strong network of people who are invested in your success.
Yeah. And he encourages thinking big, not being afraid to aim high.
Yeah.
He has this great line. He says, don't let money seduce you. You seduce money.
Right. So it's about having that confident mindset, believing that you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
He also reminds us that money is a game. And like any game, the more you play, the better you get.
It's about learning the rules, honing your skills, constantly striving to improve.
And he highlights timing,
Yeah.
knowing when to invest, when to hold back, and when to take those calculated risks.
Right. It's about strategic decision-making and having the wisdom to make the right move at the right time.
Exactly, yeah. And he promotes what he calls a no matter what mentality.
Okay.
Having a plan for different economic scenarios and being mentally prepared for those challenges.
So it's about being resilient, being adaptable, being confident in your ability to thrive in any situation.
Exactly. And finally, he advises having what he calls a secret account.
Oh.
A crisis fund that nobody knows about to help you weather any storm.
So it's about being prepared for the unexpected, having that safety net.
It is.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into Patrick Bet-David's financial wisdom.
We have.
He offers just a wealth of knowledge and really practical advice.
Absolutely.
He's such a dynamic and inspiring speaker
He is.
who really challenges us to think differently about money, about success, and about the possibilities that are out there.
He does. And for the grand finale, let's talk about Bet-David's insights on mindset and morning rituals.
Oh, yes. He has some pretty strong opinions about how you start your day,
He does.
right?
Yeah.
He believes that your morning routine kind of sets the tone for your whole day, especially when it comes to financial success. He even says, your day as an entrepreneur is a pure reflection of your morning rituals.
That's a good quote.
Yeah. So no pressure, Roddy. But seriously, why does he place so much emphasis on how you start your day?
Because he understands the power of momentum. You know, he views each day as this mountain to climb, and your morning routine is like building that foundation.
So if you start with intention, you start with focus,
Right.
you create that positive momentum.
Right.
But if you start with chaos and procrastination, you're already behind.
You're already behind, yeah. And he emphasizes energy management as well.
All right.
You know, entrepreneurs need to sustain those high levels of energy and stamina to compete.
He talks about outlasting the competition, being the last one standing.
Exactly. And he believes that your morning ritual is key to building that endurance.
It's like athletes who train rigorously
Yes,
to build their stamina so they can perform at their best.
exactly.
So if you want to win in business, you need to kind of train like an athlete, both physically and mentally. And that starts with your morning routine.
Right. And he believes that your morning routine should be personalized to your own needs and goals.
Oh.
He shares examples of different entrepreneurs and their unique routines.
Yeah. So it's about finding what works for you, whether that's meditation, journaling, exercise, spending time with your family.
Exactly. Experiment and find those rituals that energize you and set you up for success.
Okay, so we've established that morning rituals are important.
Right.
But what does Bet-David's own morning routine look like? Does he, walk the walk?
He absolutely does. He has a pretty rigorous routine.
All right, give me the details.
All right. He typically wakes up between 4:30 a.m. and 4:45 a.m.
Okay.
He starts by checking his email and the news while he's listening to an audiobook.
So he's already multitasking, maximizing his time from the get-go.
Exactly, yeah. And then he does his daily affirmations,
Okay.
which he has laminated and posted everywhere, even in the shower.
That is commitment.
It is, yeah.
He's constantly reinforcing those positive beliefs, setting his intentions.
Exactly. And then he hits the gym
Okay.
for an intense workout focusing on weights and strength training.
So he's all about building that physical strength and stamina, which he believes translates into mental toughness as well.
Absolutely. And get this. After his workout, he does cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy, okay.
He stands in a chamber that is cooled to minus 240 degrees Fahrenheit
Minus 240.
for 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh, that's hardcore.
It is.
What's the benefit supposed to be?
It's supposed to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, boost energy.
Okay.
Bet-David says it makes him feel incredible.
All right, I'm intrigued. What else does he do?
He fuels up with a healthy breakfast, and then he dedicates some time to strategic thinking.
Okay.
Planning his day, brainstorming, working on those important projects.
So he's prioritizing his most important tasks while his energy is highest.
Exactly. He also makes time for prayer and meditation, to center himself and connect with his spiritual side.
So he's all about finding that balance, nurturing the physical, the mental, and the spiritual well-being.
Precisely. And if his kids are up early, he spends some time playing with them before heading out.
So he's a dedicated family man as well as a driven entrepreneur. He's got it all.
He does. But here's the catch. He only follows this routine Monday through Saturday.
Oh. What does he do on Sundays?
He calls Sundays play day, dedicated to family, fun, and rejuvenation.
I love that. So he gives himself permission to recharge, to reconnect with his loved ones.
Exactly. He believes that taking breaks and having fun is essential for long-term success.
It's about preventing burnout and showing up fully charged each week.
Right. And he usually spends a couple of hours Sunday evening preparing for the week ahead.
So he sets himself up for success by planning and organizing in advance.
He does. He even hosts a Facebook Q&A session on Sunday nights.
Oh, wow.
To connect with other entrepreneurs and share insights.
He's always giving back and helping others succeed. He's truly remarkable.
He is.
And his morning routine really reflects this commitment to excellence, his discipline, and his belief in starting the day strong.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what can we learn from Bet David's morning rituals?
Well, I think it's that success isn't accidental. It's the result of intentional choices,
Right.
disciplined habits, and a commitment to personal growth.
He's a living example of the power of mindset, the importance of managing your energy, and the value of creating a strong morning routine.
Exactly. And he challenges us to really think about our own morning routines.
Yeah.
Are we starting our days with intention and purpose? Are we fueling our bodies and minds properly? Are we setting ourselves up for success or for struggle?
Those are some powerful questions. We may not all adopt his exact routine, but we can certainly learn from his principles
Absolutely.
and adapt them to our own lives.
Exactly. You can start with small changes, gradually building a morning ritual that empowers you to achieve your goals.
Great insights. Well, I'm feeling pretty inspired to revamp my own morning routine.
Me too.
It's a good reminder that we have the power to create the life that we want. And it starts with how we begin each day.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered Bet David's 3 paths to $1 million. His 10 rules for fast-track millionaires. His strategies for navigating uncertainty. His 5 challenges to doubling your money. And his really insightful advice on mindset and morning rituals.
We've covered a lot of ground.
That is a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But there's one area where Bet David's advice might surprise you.
Oh, I love surprises. Tell me more.
He's a huge advocate for thinking long-term, right? But he also stresses having a plan for after you achieve that financial success.
That's an interesting point. It's easy to get so caught up in that perceptive wealth and forget about what comes next.
Exactly. Bet David talks about the importance of having a clear vision for your life beyond the money. What are your passions? What impact do you want to make on the world? What legacy do you want to leave behind?
So it's not just about accumulating wealth. It's about using that wealth to create a life of meaning and purpose.
Precisely. He encourages people to think about their values, their relationships, their contributions to society. He talks about giving back, mentoring others, leaving the world a better place. It's a very holistic view of success.
It is.
Right? It's not just about the bottom line. It's about creating a life that is rich with experiences, with relationships, with fulfillment.
Exactly. And Bet David stresses finding joy in the journey, not just the destination.
Absolutely. He's a big believer in balancing that hard work with enjoyment.
Yeah.
Celebrating those wins along the way and appreciating the people in your life.
He does, yeah. It's about savoring the present moment, not just constantly striving for what's next.
Right. And he seems to really embrace that idea of living a life full of passion, purpose, and adventure.
He does.
And he reminds us that money is just a tool.
Right.
It's up to us to decide how we use that tool to create the life that we want.
It's a powerful message.
It is. It's not about letting money control you. It's about you being in control of your money.
Right.
And how it serves your bigger life goals. It's been an incredible deep dive exploring Bet David's wisdom on wealth creation, mindset, personal responsibility, and finding that purpose beyond financial success. We've covered a lot of ground, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of his insights.
Me too, yeah. He's a thought leader who really challenges conventional thinking and encourages us to take control of our lives.
Right. And even if you don't agree with everything he says, he makes you think. He makes you question your own beliefs.
Absolutely.
And that's the sign of a true influencer, someone who can spark conversation and inspire us to become better versions of ourselves.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one thing you hope our listeners take away from Bet David's teachings?
Well, for me, it's the importance of having a plan, not just for achieving that financial success, but for what comes after.
I like that, yeah.
It's about defining what success truly means to you and creating a life that aligns with your values and passions.
Absolutely.
Don't just chase the money, chase the life that you want to live and use money as a tool to help you get there.
Great takeaway. And for me, it's a reminder that financial success is within reach for anyone who is willing to put in the work and adopt that right mindset. That David came from humble beginnings, and built a fortune through sheer determination and smart strategies. He shows us that it's not about luck or privilege. It's about taking ownership of your financial future and believing in yourself.
Absolutely. It's so inspiring to see someone who's achieved so much, and he's so passionate about sharing his knowledge to help others succeed.
He is.
He's a true role model for anyone who wants to create a life of abundance and purpose.
Well said.
Well, as we conclude this deep dive into the financial mind of Patrick Bet-David, we hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration to take your own journey to the next level.
Absolutely.
Remember, it's about having that vision, setting goals, taking action, and never giving up on your dreams.
It is.
And it's about finding that joy in the journey, celebrating those wins along the way,
Right.
and creating a life that's both prosperous and fulfilling. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep. It's fascinating how Bet David manages to kind of weave together seemingly opposite ideas. He's all about rapid wealth creation, yet he also emphasizes the importance of that long game.
It's an interesting balance. He doesn't shy away from those aggressive strategies.
Right.
But he also acknowledges that slow and steady wins the race for many.
A lot of people, yeah.
It speaks to his understanding of, different personalities and financial goals.
Yeah.
He's not a one-size-fits-all kind of guy.
He's not, no.
And one thing that really resonates, I think, throughout his work is this idea of thinking like an entrepreneur, even if you don't start a business.
That's so true, yeah. He's always emphasizing ownership, being proactive, creative problem solving.
Yeah, it's like he believes those entrepreneurial skills are essential for success in any field.
I think he does, yeah.
Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder or managing your personal finances.
Right. It's about adopting that mindset of seeing opportunities where others see obstacles.
Exactly. He encourages everyone to develop those sales skills, build strong relationships, leverage technology.
Right.
All classic entrepreneurial traits.
Absolutely. And he talks a lot about personal branding, too.
Right.
He sees it as crucial in today's world, especially for those in business.
He's definitely mastered the art of personal branding.
He has, yeah.
He leverages those platforms like YouTube and Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So effectively.
He does, and he encourages others to do the same.
Right.
Viewing personal branding as an investment in yourself.
It's about creating value,
Right.
building trust,
Right.
establishing yourself as an authority in your field.
Absolutely. He emphasizes authenticity, though. Don't try to be someone you're not.
Right.
Be genuine. Let your personality shine through.
Yeah.
People can spot a fake from a mile away. Authenticity is what attracts the right people
It does.
and builds that loyal following.
Absolutely. It seems like overall, Bet-David is all about empowering people to take control of their lives, financially and personally. Absolutely. He's a big believer in self-reliance, hard work, and that continuous learning.
He is.
He challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones, embrace those calculated risks, and never stop striving for more.
He does. He's a true inspiration for anyone who wants to achieve their full potential and live a life of purpose.
Right. And one of his most powerful messages is that you don't have to be born into wealth to become wealthy.
That's right.
He's a living testament to that. Came from humble beginnings.
He did.
And built his fortune through, sheer determination and smart strategies.
Absolutely.
And he often talks about how anyone can achieve financial success
Right.
if they have the right mindset and they're willing to put in the work.
They have to be willing to do the work, yeah.
It's about having that clear vision,
Right.
setting goals, taking consistent action toward those goals.
Absolutely.
And he emphasizes the importance of learning from others,
Right.
seeking out mentors, surrounding yourself with successful people.
Yes. He talks about the power of masterminds and the value of learning from those who've already achieved what you aspire to.
Exactly. But he also stresses the importance of being selective
Yes.
about who you learn from. Choose mentors who align with your values
Right.
and principles. He's not just about making money. He's about building a life of integrity and purpose.
Absolutely. It's about using your wealth to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy.
Right. It's refreshing to hear someone talk about money and success in such a holistic way.
It is. He's not just about the bottom line. He's about creating a life of meaning and fulfillment, both for yourself and for others.
Right. So what's one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with today?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway from Bet David's teachings is that financial success is really within reach for anyone who's willing to put in the effort.
Yeah.
It's about having the right mindset, developing the right skills, and surrounding yourself with the right people.
He shows us it's not about luck or circumstance.
Yeah.
It's about taking ownership of your financial future.
Absolutely.
He empowers us to believe that we can achieve anything that we set our minds to.
Absolutely. And he reminds us that the journey to financial success should be enjoyable. It's not about sacrificing everything for the sake of wealth.
Right. It's about finding joy in the process, celebrating those wins along the way, and building a life that's both prosperous and fulfilling.
Absolutely. That's a great message to end on.
It is. So what's next on our deep dive agenda?
Well, we've explored Bet David's journey to wealth, his principles for success, his insights on mindset and morning rituals. We've delved into his 5 challenges to doubling your money and his advice for navigating economic uncertainty.
Right.
Now, I think it's time to shift gears and explore another facet of Bet David's wisdom. He's known for his strong opinions and his willingness to tackle controversial topics.
He is, yeah.
And one area where he's particularly outspoken is in his views on personal responsibility and self-reliance. He believes that individuals have the power to shape their own destinies. And he challenges us to take ownership of our lives and our choices rather than blaming external factors for our circumstances.
I'm definitely intrigued to hear more about his perspective on this.
It's a topic that's often debated and can spark some lively discussion.
Well, then let's dive in. What does Bet David have to say about personal responsibility and its role in achieving success?
Well, he believes that taking personal responsibility is the foundation for achieving anything worthwhile.
Okay.
He sees it as the key to unlocking your full potential and creating a life of meaning and purpose.
So it's about being accountable for your own actions, your own decisions.
Exactly, yeah. He argues that when you take responsibility for your actions, your thoughts, and your outcomes, you empower yourself to make positive changes. He contrasts this with like a victim mentality, where individuals blame those external factors for their circumstances and they feel powerless to change their situation.
Right.
And he believes that this victim mentality leads to a sense of helplessness and prevents people from taking action to improve their lives.
It can be very disempowering.
It can, yeah. He argues that when you blame others, you give away your power.
Right.
You become a passenger in your own life rather than the driver.
It's like you're giving up control of the steering wheel.
Exactly. So he encourages us to shift our focus from blaming to taking ownership.
Okay.
To ask ourselves, what can I do differently to achieve the result I want? He believes that this shift in mindset is essential for creating lasting change and achieving true success. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose your response to any situation, and that you have the ability to create the life you desire regardless of your circumstances.
It's a very empowering message.
It is, and he doesn't deny that external factors can play a role.
Right.
But he emphasizes that your response to those factors is what ultimately determines your outcomes. He uses this analogy of a ship caught in a storm.
Okay.
The storm represents the challenges and obstacles that we face in life, but the captain of that ship has the power to navigate through the storm. The captain can choose to give up and let the storm just toss the ship around, or the captain can use their skills, their knowledge, and their determination to steer the ship to safety.
It's a great analogy. So he's saying we're all captains of our own ships.
Exactly. We have the power to choose our course, even in the midst of those challenging circumstances. He encourages us to develop the skills and the mindset that's necessary to navigate through life's storms and to believe in our ability to overcome adversity and achieve our goals.
So it's a message of empowerment, self-belief,
It is, yeah. And it's a reminder that we're not victims of our circumstances, but creators of our own destinies.
We have the power to choose.
We do. And he also talks about the importance of taking responsibility for your relationships.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he believes that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and accountability, and that taking responsibility for your role in the relationship is essential for its success. He encourages us to communicate openly and honestly, to be willing to apologize when we're wrong, and to take ownership of our actions rather than blaming our partners for our own shortcomings.
Right. It's about focusing on what you can control, your own behavior, your own communication.
Exactly. And he emphasizes the importance of choosing partners who share your values.
Okay.
And who are also committed to personal growth.
That's so important. You want to be aligned on those core values and be growing together.
Absolutely. He believes that surrounding yourself with people who support your journey
Right.
and who challenge you to be your best self is crucial for both personal and professional success.
It's about having that support system that lifts you up.
Exactly. And he sees personal responsibility as an ongoing process.
Okay.
It's not a destination that you arrive at. It's a way of life.
Right. It's a continuous journey.
It is, yeah. It's about constantly striving to improve yourself, to learn from your mistakes, and to take ownership of your choices and their consequences.
So it's about self-awareness, accountability, and that commitment to growth.
Absolutely. He believes that this commitment to personal growth is what ultimately leads to a fulfilling and successful life. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and using your talents and abilities to make a positive impact on the world.
It's about living with purpose and intention.
Exactly, yeah. He encourages us to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, to view setbacks as lessons learned, and to never give up on our dreams. And he reminds us that the journey to success is not always easy, but it's always worth it.
Right. It's about having that resilience, that grit.
It is, yeah. And that the rewards of taking personal responsibility far outweigh the challenges.
So how can we apply this concept of personal responsibility to our own lives?
Well, he suggests starting by identifying areas where you're blaming others for your circumstances. Are you blaming your boss for your lack of career advancement? Are you blaming your partner for your relationship problems? Are you blaming the economy for your financial struggles?
Right. It's about recognizing those patterns of blame.
It is, yeah. Once you've identified those areas, he encourages you to kind of shift your perspective. Instead of blaming, ask yourself, what can I do differently?
Okay.
What actions can you take to improve your situation?
Right.
What skills can you develop to enhance your performance?
Okay.
What changes can you make to your mindset to attract greater success? He believes that taking even small steps in the right direction can have a significant impact over time.
It's those small, consistent actions that add up over time.
They do, yeah. It's about building that momentum, and creating a positive cycle of growth and achievement.
So it's not about making these huge, sweeping changes overnight.
Right.
It's about those small, incremental steps.
Absolutely. And he encourages us to seek out mentors and resources that can support our journey, to surround ourselves with people who believe in us and who challenge us to grow.
So building that support network.
Right. And to never underestimate the power of personal responsibility to transform our lives. His message is both empowering and inspiring. It's a call to action to take control of our destinies and to create the lives we truly desire. It's a reminder that we're not victims of circumstance, but architects of our own futures, and that the power to create lasting change lies within each and every one of us.
Well, I have to say, that was a truly thought-provoking exploration of Bette David's views on personal responsibility.
It is a powerful topic.
It is. It's definitely made me think about areas in my own life where I could be taking more ownership. It's easy to fall into that trap of blaming external factors when things don't go our way.
It is, yeah. It's easy to play the victim.
But Bette David reminds us that we have more power than we often realize.
We do, yeah.
He challenges us to shift our focus from blaming to taking action.
Right.
And to believe in our ability to create the lives we want. It's a powerful message that can truly transform our outlook and our outcomes. So what's next on our deep dive journey?
Well, we've explored Bette David's principles for success, his insights on mindset and morning rituals, his views on personal responsibility, and his 5 challenges to doubling your money. We've delved into his strategies for navigating economic uncertainty and his advice for building a successful personal brand. Now, I think it's time to turn our attention to another area where Bette David has a wealth of knowledge and experience: the world of entrepreneurship.
Right. That's his bread and butter.
It is. He's built multiple successful businesses and has mentored countless entrepreneurs on their own journeys. He has a deep understanding of the challenges and rewards of starting and growing a business. And he's passionate about sharing his insights to help others achieve their entrepreneurial dreams. So let's dive into Bet David's world of entrepreneurship. What are his key principles for building a successful business? What are the biggest mistakes he sees entrepreneurs making? And what advice does he have for those who are just starting out on their entrepreneurial journey?
I'm excited to explore this further.
Me too. Bet David's entrepreneurial journey is truly inspiring.
It is.
He's a living example of what's possible when you combine passion, determination, and smart strategies. He's not afraid to take risks, he's constantly learning and evolving, and he's always looking for ways to create value and make a positive impact.
He's a true role model for aspiring entrepreneurs.
He is. So let's dive into his insights and see what we can learn from his experience. He often talks about the importance of having a clear vision for your business. What problem are you solving? What value are you creating? What impact do you want to make on the world?
It's about having that why behind what you're doing.
Exactly. He believes that having a strong vision is essential for attracting investors, customers, and those talented team members. It's the foundation upon which you build your entire business. And he also emphasizes the importance of identifying your target market.
Right. Who are you serving?
Exactly. Who are your ideal customers? What are their needs and desires? Where do they hang out online and offline? He believes that understanding your target market is crucial for developing effective marketing strategies and creating products and services that resonate with your audience.
It's about knowing who you're talking to.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And he also stresses the importance of building a strong team. He believes that surrounding yourself with talented and dedicated individuals is essential for success. He encourages entrepreneurs to delegate tasks that are not their strengths and to focus on what they do best. And he also highlights the importance of building a positive and supportive company culture. He believes that when employees feel valued and respected, they're more likely to be engaged and productive.
It's about creating that positive work environment.
It is. He encourages entrepreneurs to create a work environment where people feel empowered to contribute their best ideas and where they're excited to come to work each day.
That makes a huge difference.
It does, and he also talks about the importance of managing your finances effectively. He believes that cash flow is the lifeblood of any business, and that entrepreneurs need to have a solid understanding of their financials. He encourages entrepreneurs to track their income and expenses carefully and to develop a realistic budget. He also stresses the importance of having a plan for managing debt and for securing funding when it's needed. He believes that having a strong financial foundation is essential for weathering storms and for achieving long-term success. And he also talks about the importance of marketing your business effectively. He believes that in today's competitive landscape, it's not enough to simply create a great product or service.
Right. You got to get the word out.
You do. You need to let people know about it. He encourages entrepreneurs to develop a comprehensive marketing strategy that includes both online and offline channels. And he also stresses the importance of building a strong online presence and using social media to connect with your target audience. He believes that marketing is an ongoing process and that entrepreneurs need to constantly adapt their strategies to stay ahead of the curve. And he also talks about the importance of providing excellent customer service. He believes that happy customers are your best advocates and that word-of-mouth marketing is one of the most powerful forms of advertising.
That's the best kind of marketing.
It is, yeah. He encourages entrepreneurs to go above and beyond to exceed customer expectations and to build relationships with their customers that go beyond a simple transaction.
It's about building that loyalty.
It is. He believes that when you treat your customers like gold, they'll reward you with their loyalty and their referrals. He also talks about the importance of constantly learning and evolving. He believes that the business world is constantly changing and that entrepreneurs need to stay ahead of the curve.
It's about being adaptable.
It is. He encourages entrepreneurs to read books, attend conferences, and seek out mentors who can help them grow. And he also stresses the importance of networking and building relationships with other entrepreneurs and business leaders. He believes that learning from others is one of the best ways to improve your own business.
It's about constantly expanding your knowledge and your network.
Exactly. And he also talks about the importance of taking risks.
Okay.
He believes that entrepreneurship is inherently risky, but that those calculated risks are often necessary for growth.
Right. Not just being reckless, but being strategic with their risk-taking.
Exactly. He encourages entrepreneurs to step outside their comfort zones and to embrace those challenges as opportunities for learning and development. And he also stresses the importance of having a plan for managing failure.
Right. Because failure is inevitable, especially in the entrepreneurial world.
It is. He believes that failure is a part of the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
And that it's important to learn from your mistakes and move forward. He encourages entrepreneurs to view failure as a stepping stone to success and to never give up on their dreams.
So it's about having that resilience, that ability to bounce back from setbacks.
It is, yeah. He also talks about the importance of having a strong work ethic. He believes that success in entrepreneurship requires hard work, dedication, and perseverance. He encourages entrepreneurs to be willing to put in the long hours and to never give up on their goals.
Right. It's about that hustle, that grind.
It is. And he also stresses the importance of staying focused and avoiding distractions. He believes that entrepreneurs need to be laser focused on their goals and be willing to say no to those opportunities that don't align with their vision. And he also talks about the importance of having a positive attitude. He believes that entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride and that there will be ups and downs along the way. He encourages entrepreneurs to stay positive and to focus on the long-term vision. He believes that a positive attitude is contagious and that can help to attract success. And he also talks about the importance of giving back to the community.
Okay.
He believes that entrepreneurs have a responsibility to use their success to make a positive impact on the world. He encourages entrepreneurs to support causes they believe in and to use their businesses as a platform for good.
It's about using your success to make a difference.
Exactly. He believes that giving back is not only the right thing to do, but it's also good for business. It's a way to build goodwill and attract those customers who share your values.
Right. So it's a win-win.
It is.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Bet David's key principles for building a successful business. It's a comprehensive and inspiring approach that emphasizes vision, strategy, execution, and a commitment to constant growth. It's a reminder that entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart, but that the rewards of building a successful business are well worth the effort. And that anyone with the right mindset, the right skills, and the right support can achieve their entrepreneurial dreams.
He paints a very compelling picture of entrepreneurship.
He does, yeah. So what are some of the biggest mistakes he sees entrepreneurs making?
Yeah. What are those common pitfalls?
Well, he often talks about how entrepreneurs can get caught up in the excitement of their idea and kind of rush into things without proper planning. He emphasizes the importance of taking the time to develop a solid business plan that outlines your vision, your target market, your marketing strategy, your financial projections, and your operational plan.
So it's about laying that groundwork, doing your due diligence.
Exactly. He believes that having a well-thought-out plan is essential for attracting investors, securing funding, and avoiding those costly mistakes.
Yeah.
He also stresses the importance of conducting thorough market research.
Okay, so validate your idea.
Validate your idea. Make sure that there is a demand for your product or service. He cautions against falling in love with your own idea and encourages entrepreneurs to be open to feedback and to pivot if necessary.
Right. Sometimes you got to be willing to adjust course.
Absolutely. And he also sees a lot of entrepreneurs making the mistake of trying to do everything themselves.
Oh, the classic solopreneur trap.
It is.
Yeah.
He believes that delegation is crucial for success and that entrepreneurs need to build a strong team that can support their vision. He encourages entrepreneurs to focus on their strength and delegate tasks that are not their core competencies.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And he also talks about the importance of building a strong brand.
Okay.
He believes that your brand is your reputation and that it's essential to create a brand that is consistent with your values and your vision. He encourages entrepreneurs to invest in professional branding and to create a strong online presence. He also stresses the importance of providing excellent customer service and of building those relationships with your customers. He believes that happy customers are your best advocates and that word-of-mouth marketing is one of the most powerful forms of advertising.
It's about building that trust and loyalty.
It is, yeah. And he also sees many entrepreneurs making the mistake of not managing their finances effectively. He believes that cash flow is the lifeblood of any business and that entrepreneurs need to have a solid understanding of their financials. He encourages entrepreneurs to track their income and expenses carefully and to develop a realistic budget. He also stresses the importance of having a plan for managing debt and for securing funding when it's needed.
So it's about being financially savvy.
Absolutely. And he also talks about the importance of marketing your business effectively.
Right. Getting the word out there.
He believes that in today's competitive landscape, it's not enough to simply create a great product or service.
Right. You have to make some noise.
You do. You need to let people know about it.
Yeah.
He encourages entrepreneurs to develop a comprehensive marketing strategy that includes both online and offline channels. And he also stresses the importance of building that strong online presence and using social media to connect with your target audience.
So it's about having that multifaceted approach to marketing.
It is, yeah. He believes that marketing is an ongoing process and that entrepreneurs need to constantly adapt their strategies to stay ahead of the curve. And he also talks about the importance of having a strong work ethic. He believes that success in entrepreneurship requires hard work, dedication, and perseverance. He encourages entrepreneurs to be willing to put in the long hours and never give up on their goals.
So it's about that hustle, that commitment.
It is, yeah. And he also stresses the importance of staying focused and avoiding distractions. He believes that entrepreneurs need to be laser focused on their goals and be willing to say no to opportunities that don't align with their vision. He also talks about the importance of having a positive attitude. He believes that entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride. There will be ups and downs along the way. He encourages entrepreneurs to stay positive and to focus on that long-term vision. He believes that a positive attitude is contagious and that it can help to attract success. So those are some of the biggest mistakes Bet David sees entrepreneurs making.
So it's a reminder to avoid those common pitfalls.
Right.
And focus on building that strong foundation for your business.
Right.
But what advice does he have for those who are just starting out on their entrepreneurial journey?
Well, he encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to start by identifying their passion. What are you truly passionate about? What problem are you driven to solve? He believes that passion is essential for fueling the long hours and the hard work that entrepreneurship requires.
It's that fire in your belly that keeps you going.
It is. And he also encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to develop their skills. What skills do you need to succeed in your chosen industry? Are you a good communicator? Are you a strong leader? Are you good at marketing and sales? He believes that investing in your education and developing your skills is crucial for success.
So it's about being a lifelong learner.
It is. And he also encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to network and build relationships. Attend industry events, join online communities, reach out to those successful entrepreneurs and ask for advice. He believes that building a strong network is essential for gaining insights, finding mentors, and creating opportunities. And he also encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to start small.
Okay.
And test their ideas. Don't wait for the perfect moment to launch your business.
Right.
Start with a minimum viable product and get feedback from your target market.
So get it out there, test it, iterate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He believes that it's better to iterate and improve your product or service based on real-world feedback than to spend months or years developing something that nobody wants.
So don't be afraid to experiment and fail fast.
Absolutely. And he also encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to embrace failure as a learning opportunity.
Okay.
He believes that failure is a part of the entrepreneurial journey.
It is. It's inevitable.
It is, and that it's important to learn from your mistakes and move forward.
Right.
He encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to view failure as a stepping stone to success and to never give up on their dreams. And he also encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to seek out mentors.
Okay.
He believes that having a mentor can really accelerate your learning curve and provide invaluable guidance and support.
It's about having someone who's been there, done that.
Exactly. He encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to find mentors who have achieved success in their chosen industry and who are willing to share their insights and experiences. And he also encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to believe in themselves. He believes that self-belief is essential for overcoming challenges and achieving success. He encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to visualize their success and to affirm their goals daily. He believes that the power of belief can move mountains and that anything is possible if you set your mind to it. So there you have it.
It's about having that unwavering belief in yourself.
It is. Bet David's advice for those aspiring entrepreneurs. It's a powerful reminder that entrepreneurship is a journey, and it's important to have the right mindset, the right skills, and the right support to succeed.
It's about being prepared for the long haul.
It is. It's a call to action to pursue your passion.
Right.
Develop your skills, build a strong network, embrace failure as a learning opportunity, seek out those mentors, and believe in yourself.
So what's one piece of advice from Bet David that really resonated with you?
I think his emphasis on personal branding really struck a chord with me.
Okay.
It's so important in today's world to build that strong personal brand that showcases your unique value proposition.
Yeah.
It's about differentiating yourself from the competition and attracting the right opportunities. It's also about building trust and credibility and establishing yourself as an authority in your field.
I agree. Personal branding is something that I'm actively working on.
Me too, yeah.
And Bet David's insights have been incredibly helpful.
Absolutely. He makes it clear that personal branding is not about being self-promotional. It's about sharing your expertise, adding value to others, and building those authentic relationships.
Right. It's about genuinely connecting with people and showing them what you bring to the table.
Exactly. What about you? What advice from Bet David really resonated with you?
I think his emphasis on building a strong team really stood out to me. I've always been someone who tries to do everything myself, but I'm realizing that delegation is crucial for growth.
It is.
And that building a strong team is essential for achieving those bigger goals. It's about leveraging the strengths of others and creating a culture of collaboration and mutual support.
Absolutely.
It's also about freeing yourself up to focus on your core competencies. And doing what you do best. I think that's a valuable lesson for any entrepreneur.
It is, yeah. It's about recognizing that you can't do it all alone and that building a strong team is essential for success.
I agree. Bet David's insights on team building have definitely made me rethink my own approach.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right people,
Right.
empowering them to do their best work, and creating a work environment where everyone feels valued and respected.
It is. It's also about fostering a culture of continuous learning.
Right.
And improvement and encouraging team members to grow and develop their skills. I think that's a key ingredient for building a successful and sustainable business.
I agree. So where do we go from here? We've explored Bet David's principles for success, his insights on mindset and morning rituals, his views on personal responsibility, his 5 challenges to doubling your money, his strategies for navigating economic uncertainty, his advice for building a successful personal brand, and his insights on entrepreneurship. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. It's amazing how Bet David consistently emphasizes, thinking big, aiming high. But one thing that really struck me was his advice on what to do after you achieve that financial success.
Right, like you've reached the mountaintop, now what?
Yeah.
It's easy to get so focused on the climb that you forget to plan for what comes next.
Exactly. And he really encourages having a clear vision for your life beyond the money. Figuring out your passions, the impact you want to make, the legacy you want to leave behind.
So it's not just about the wealth itself, but about how you use that wealth to create a life of meaning and purpose.
Exactly. He talks about considering your values, your relationships, and your contributions to society.
It's like, don't let the money become the only thing that defines you. Use it as a tool to live a life that's truly fulfilling.
Right. He talks about giving back, mentoring others, making the world a better place. It's a very holistic view of success.
It is. It's not just about accumulating wealth, but about using it to uplift others and leave a positive mark on the world.
Absolutely. And he also stresses finding joy in the journey, not just in reaching the destination.
Absolutely. He seems to really embrace that idea of living a life full of passion, purpose, and adventure.
He does.
And he reminds us that money is just a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use it to create the life that we want.
A powerful message.
It is. It's not about letting money control you. It's about you being in control of your money and how it serves your bigger life goals. It's been an incredible deep dive exploring Bet David's wisdom on wealth creation, mindset, personal responsibility, and finding that purpose beyond financial success.
It has.
We've covered a lot of ground, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of his insights. He's definitely a thought leader, someone who challenges conventional thinking and encourages us to really take control of our lives.
Absolutely. And even if you don't agree with everything he says, he certainly makes you think, makes you question your own beliefs.
Right. And that's the sign of a true influencer, someone who sparks conversation and inspires us to become better versions of ourselves.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from Bet David's teachings?
For me, it's the importance of having a plan. not just for achieving that financial success, but for what comes after.
I like that.
It's about defining what success truly means to you and creating a life that aligns with your values and your passions. Don't just chase the money, chase the life that you want to live, and use the money as a tool to help you get there.
That's a great takeaway. And for me, it's that reminder that financial success is within reach for anyone who's willing to put in the work and adopt the right mindset. Bet David came from humble beginnings and built a fortune through, sheer determination and smart strategies. He shows us it's not about luck or privilege. It's about taking ownership of your financial future and believing in yourself.
Absolutely.
It's inspiring to see someone who's achieved so much and is so passionate about sharing his knowledge to help others succeed. He's a true role model for anyone who wants to create a life of abundance and purpose.
Well said.
Well, as we conclude this deep dive into the financial mind of Patrick Bet-David, we hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration to take your own journey to the next level. Remember, it's about having that vision, setting goals, taking action, and never giving up on your dreams. And it's about finding that joy in the journey, celebrating those wins along the way, and creating a life that's both prosperous and fulfilling. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.